Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Market Talk with Musaffa, your weekly deep dive into halal investing, where faith meets finance. We're on a mission to halalify the investment world, one stock at a time. Inshallah, let's explore the markets through halal lens and covering opportunities that align with your values and your future. Inshallah. So we're back live. It's been a while since we did this kind of live sessions, market talks with you. We call it market talks, but it basically what we present within Musaffa and talk sometimes about what's going on the market and how it may affect your investment. I have to make a disclaimer from the beginning. Anything that I say here, and none of these is a solicitation to buy or sell or invest in any stocks. Anything that you hear here, none of them are endorsement or promotion. Any of stocks or any instruments, and any content that you hear on these market talks is all for informational, illustrative purposes. Nothing is any type of professional investment or any other type of advice. So disclaimers are made, greetings are done, but I'm really happy to see everyone back and engage in our conversation about the markets. So before I start, we probably live on multiple channels. We love our audience; they're very active. Please leave in the comments where you're joining from, and then what country you're joining from, and so we can know where people are coming in. And then we will be able to share it with our audience. Also, for this one, I believe I haven't prepared anything, but going forward, if you stay active and if you join, all of these are live shows, live discussions. We will definitely play some games. I mean, we will share some small gifts from our company so that you will be able to participate and get some benefits from these live shows. So what I prepared for today for our market talk with Musaffa. So we will go through a little bit what happened in 2025 in terms of the investment. And then we will also share that how it may affect 2026, and from there we'll move and then look at the Musaffa's launches, a few of the Musaffa's launches, so you get familiar with our features and then with our platform, inshallah. So if you're joining from different countries, please leave in the chat where are you joining from. And then any greetings, that any messages you have, I will be answering any of those questions that come in our chat section. Okay, so and then if I go to discuss about what happened in 2025 from an investment perspective. So 2025 was a very strong year for Islamic market. So key facts if I share. So the major Islamic equity indices delivered 19 plus 19 or plus 20 between 19, 21 plus the increase, and that was with the MSCI World Islamic, FTSE Sharia, and then S&P Global BMI Sharia, or Dow Jones Islamic, right? All of these increased plus 19, between plus 19 plus 21. And you know that performance was competitive with or better than conventional benchmarks like S&P 500 that everyone knows, which was only increased to 17.86, and FTSE 100, which increased to 20 plus 0.77. So the message for 2026, Islamic portfolios has shown they can capture global equity upside without conventional banks and high leverage, right? So going 2026, Muslim investors can be confident they're not sacrificing their returns by staying halal. So if you're investing in halal indices, that you're doing right, okay? They're just taking a different, more disciplined path. So if you're investing in these, you're taking more disciplined path as Sharia compliant investors. So second point I want to share with you, Sharia screening turned into a strength in a high rate world. So key facts to share, if I want to share, Sharia compliant companies typically have low interest bearing debt and strong balance sheets, right? So the macro backdrop in 2025, interest rates stayed structurally higher, even like higher than pre-COVID, and inflation came back towards the targets, right? And this environment penalized highly leveraged interest dependent business models and rewarded more real economy cash generative firms. Exactly what Sharia screening tends to favor, right? So stay with Sharia screening. And for that effect, so when I'm talking about these, I will also share that as something that Musaffa has for you to give as a tool to stay, right? For example, if you want to stay a less a loan or credit or debt dependent companies, you just simply go to our Sharia screening of the halal stock screening, and then you choose the Musaffa screening, where it only screens those aspects if the company has interest bearing assets or interest bearing loan. You take it and you put it the lowest. That's where you can see that the company doesn't depend on any loans. So if it depends on loans, the loans are high. So what they're doing, they're paying a lot of interest, and then the company's dependent. It's risky. So that's why I stay with the Sharia screening, right? And I'll show those tools later on as well. So, and I want to pause a little bit. If anyone who has any questions and wants to share anything in the chat, I'm happy to answer any of those questions. I'm all available here to answer any of your questions. But again, I'm happy to see you again in 2026, and happy to be back with our live sessions. So now I want to talk a little bit about the big opportunities that happen in Islamic countries and their markets, and a real risk that could happen. So if I want to share that the country returns, like a different country returns in a halal universe, would it say any Gulf countries or any South Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, or any other like other countries? So the country returns ranged from -14, which is in Saudi Arabia, which is fall, and 201% gain in Indonesia. So what does that mean? In Indonesia, few large Sharia compliant stocks with a triple digit to even 4-digit gains drove the entire market above 100 plus. So, but in Saudi Arabia, the large cap names dragged the overall halal market to -14, even though some smaller stocks did very well. So you need to be very careful where you putting your investment in from this lens as well. Just this is again, I'm sharing this. None of these are investment advice. This is just illustrating how market performed and what to look into in 2026. So in 2026, you should not only ask which market, but also how concentrated is my exposure, how concentrated big players in that certain market that may drive one market or another market, right? So that is the key things to look at in 2026. So another very fun thing to share about the sukuk. Sukuk is very important. All Muslim investors are very interested. And sukuk and indices showed elevated yields by in 2025. So Dow Jones Sukuk Index raised 7.4. FTSE Ideal Ratings Sukuk Index 4.59. Bloomberg Global Sukuk Index 4.76. So the global sukuk market is now over 1 trillion USD outstanding, with annual issuance around 254 billion, and keep growing, right? And ESG sukuk exceeded 50 billion USD outstanding, with a strong new issuance and is becoming core growth engine. So when I say ESG, you please need to remember that Musaffa launched its own Islamic version of ESG. I don't want to do it like, but if you want to analogy to compare what is the mystery that Musaffa launched, it's something that is Islamic version of the ESG. So we'll come back to that. I will share on my screen about mystery as well. Musaffa's ESG, Islamic ESG. So for 2026, so for Muslim investors means you can build portfolios that are income generating, values aligned, and increasingly diversified across the geographies and themes, right? So those are bringing Sharia compliant, ESG compliant sukuks to the market, right? So another one very important of the 2025 is the gold, right? Gold stood out as a defensive winner. So it was super strong. From from the data, gold delivered an estimated plus 64 compound return over the year. Supportive drivers were inflation uncertainty, all of the geopolitical risks, demand for store of the value assets, right? So for 2026, gold remains a core real asset for Sharia portfolios. If you want to diversify, please consider it. Many people are considering it. It historically performs well when trust in paper assets and geopolitics is shaky, which could be currently from the market, right? So, and if you look at the gold, I would look at it like a strategic more allocation rather than, oh, I want to just quickly small gains, right? So and another main one of the main things that happen, Islamic finance is scaling and institutionalizing fast. So global Islamic finance assets are projected to reach 7.5 trillion by 2028 from the from 2024 5.5 trillion, right? They're like a very good growth, inshallah. So and growth drivers are sukuk firmly alongside the conventional bonds, ESG sukuk as the fast growing segment, new geographies like Nigeria preparing international sukuk, wealth and multi assets products, Sharia compliant CIO funds expanding across the retail and mass affluent. So for Muslim investors, the implication is encouraging. The halal opportunity is set as wider, deeper, and more institutional, right? If you're investing in something Sharia compliant, that is not going to die. That it's even getting more institutionalized. One great example is Musaffa. Musaffa is growing, and then there's huge interest in Sharia compliant, right? Investment. So I believe we covered all these interesting points. But now I want to again remind, if you have any questions in the chat, if you want to share any if you want to ask any questions, I'm happy to answer. But now I want to move to our platform, to Musaffa's platform, and talk about where you can screen those less loan companies, the companies which has less loans, and we will just now go through this. very interesting moments and points. And I want to share again with you the biggest launch in 2025 for Musaffa so far. We launched our global halal trading platform. So you can see here, global halal trading platform. It's now live. We had a huge event in New York with lots of people flocking and coming in into the event, sharing all this amazing moment with us. So we launched our trading platform, and it is accessible from many countries in the world, from about 100 around 150 countries. So you can join and then explore and then start trading directly. So when you click here, start invest now, it will take you to the trading platform, our amazing trading platform. You can see how beautiful it is. So this is where you can sign up, go and then create your account, and start investing basically. So we're super happy to share that with you. Don't waste time. Start investing in 2026 with the halal trading platform, true halal trading platform. The point I want to share with this one, it's all U.S. stocks and ETFs are available in our trading platform. Also, the stocks under ADR with that are presented in U.S. stocks from other countries, let's say from UK, from Australia, from countries, they're also present. You can invest into the which are present in New York Stock Exchange, in Nasdaq, and other U.S. exchanges. You can invest in them too. So please go and enjoy and start investing by opening your account. It's very secure. I'll of course ask you to go through the KYC as any normal trading platform. You would have to go through all of those, but then start enjoying. And it's an amazing platform. So now we talked about the stocks that you would want to invest in, the stocks that has less leverage, right? Less interest. And I always love presenting this, our halal stock screener. It's an amazing tool to analyze any stocks, to find the best stocks. I always find my best stocks here. I have my very interesting watch list, for example, with so many different watch lists. You see, I keep being creative and creating this new Explore watch list. I'm only finding the best stocks you can do the same thing. So when you find a really good stocks, when you screen it here, you can add it to the list and start investing. So now if I go to this, you see it's divided: Musaffa filtering and then other filters. So Musaffa filtering it's focused in Shariah-compliant screening, right? Because it's that we screen those stocks. That's why it's called Musaffa filtering. Other filters, it's other economic, like financial investment screening metrics that you can use to analyze stocks from other perspectives, right? And those could be the price, volume, trading metrics, financial performance. If you click there, it opens and tells you financial ratios, growth metrics, dividends, if people are interested in dividends. But I want to take you back here, because we said in 2025, Shariah-compliant indices were the ones who even outperformed it to some extent, the conventional benchmarks of S&P 500, right? So if you want to choose halal here, then let's say I usually do anything above B. So let's say take B minus, B plus, A A plus. So these are my favorite. I don't go to C. So it already puts all of them here in list, right? So these are already very strong stocks that driving even the whole market. You can see Nvidia is A minus. This is not looking into any political aspects, right? It's not looking at any ESG components. This is just Sharia compliance. Sharia compliance is screened based on 3 categories. We'll go through that. I will remind you about those. Basically, this is only Sharia compliant, and then this is our halal rating, that our proprietary ratings that we give, right? But this halal compliance here, it's based on IOFI's screening. Now, if you look at the financial screening of this from halal perspective, from Sharia compliance perspective, so we could take, let's say, halal revenue coming, because if you put anything halal revenue coming between 98, let's put, and then 100, right? So maybe even just to get a little bit more, so 97 to 100, right? So and we don't want to touch this because we already chosen the halal revenue. Then we have interest bearing assets. Let's do interest bearing assets, anything that is 0 or below 5, right? So now an interest bearing, let's not touch the interest bearing assets, but we focus more on the loans and credits, right? And so the people, the companies that are dependent on interest bearing debts, any loans that leverage, that they have to be responsible to pay from time to time, and then that's their are risky. So if I put anything that interest bearing debt, fine for me only between 0 and then 10, this is their market value, right? It's not that how much interest they have. This is if you compare to their market. So this is the lowest we could get, and you can see here it's 565 matching stocks. Let's do this only 5% of their market value. So 413 matching stocks. That's you see interest bearing debt for Nvidia is only their market value. Their market value is 0.37. So that means they have very small amount of interest bearing. Or Tesla 0.95. You can see that, for example, Visa, that it has a little bit. It's of market value. It has 4.54. You can actually click this way, and it gives you, to be honest, the from the ascending or descending order, and you can see that Park Biological has 0 of interest bearing debt. You see how many of them 0% of interest bearing debt, and most of them are 99% of them. So if I look into this one, let's take this one, and if you look at this company's Sharia compliance, so it's sort of a little bit more new company. But if you look at their this one, of course, very small stocks. But if you look at their Sharia compliance report, you can see the product sales. They all sell about the developed skincare products, etc. This is franchise fees, etc. You see interest income is very low. And then if you go to interest bearing assets, this one is a little bit that they invested in something that has interest. But if you look at the interest bearing debt, it's out of their market cap. Their market cap is very small. It's 11 million. But if even in that, it's a 0, right? So they're not in any they're not taking any interest. So this is just example to share you. It doesn't mean that you definitely need to go invest in this company, but this is a really good example for you to show how to analyze all of these companies and your when you're looking at our halal stock screener. Now, I wanted to take you a little bit to mystery, because we talked about the ESG component, right? So if you looked at every S&P 500, most of the big companies, we already analyzed, and NVIDIA is one. So if you look at their mystery score, this is more ESG. So if you look at the it indicates community impact, social controversies, labor practices, and human. This is Adala, right? So this one is Maslaha, and then product sector involvement. This is how much their product is. Here, all the information is given about this ethical principle, environmental responsibility, Khalifa. So if they have environmental stewardship, preservation and compliance requirements, etc. There, anything that of that extent, it's given here, and it's analyzed from the Islamic perspective. So you can see that Musaffa's ISRI, which is Islamic investing score of the Musaffa, it's 367 out of 5, and then community one is 321, right? Which is in both cases is good. So you need to do, but you can see that community impact and social controversies is very low. So reputational risk and then social controversies, it might be involved in something that is very controversial, right? Very highly controversial. So that means we will be soon putting the reports as well, so you can see all that data on the under these ISRI reports. So look into the people, the bonds and all of them, and then sukuks are basically Sharia compliant, right? So and also they're looking at the ESG component when they're putting together. So those aspects are very important for investors. Use these tools. Enjoy. Again, we launched our trading platform. Enjoy the trading platform. We reached 588,000 investors, users who are using our platform. We enjoy delivering for you. You can find it here. What's new? This is actually I don't want to stop there too much. Trading halal stocks. You can see here. You can find the most active one, most popular one. You can see that I have them in my watch list. You have top losers. You have week at the 52-week high, 52-week low, and then trending halal ETFs you can find here. So you can see one of them I added to my watch list. You can find halal stock collections, super investors. Basically, the amazing platform for you to enjoy. And I want to share that we obtained our license as a registered investment advisor. You can find all that information about it. You can do the FINRA broker check or SEC investment advisor website, and you can see our form CRS. So basically, that is what I want to share. And if you have, again, any questions, any comments, anything that you want to ask, I'm happy to answer, and leave it this way on the screen. So I guess I will remain one more minute available for any questions, and I will be happy to answer those. Let me ask our moderator if we have any questions from any channels. Okay, so again, if there are any questions listening in, please ask your questions. I'm happy to answer. But the first market live session with Musaffa, we will be doing this. And what we're going to do going 2026, we're going to number them. So this one will be number one, the first of the market talk with Musaffa. in 2026. Next one is going to be number 2 or number 3, number 4. So every Saturday, I'll be waiting here to answer any of your questions, to enjoy time with you, to share as much as I know, as much as I can. And another thing I want to share with you, bring guests to, we'll bring either any of our team members from Musaffa to discuss about the market, and also we will some guests from outside of Musaffa, inshallah. So if you want under this any of the live sessions that will be available on our social media channels, leave your request, any guests that you want to see on this live shows, on this market talk with Musaffa, and we will do our best to bring those guests to these events, to these live sessions, inshallah. So I want to thank everyone for listening in, and having listening us and a bit of time with us. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We were super happy to have you on this live session. Thank you so much.